can see that I will have the prince hide to me.
Forged in the lockdown that we're back in. Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the Unfathomable quiz. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find, and with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got Chad Hall.
Hello.
Chris from Animal Science TV.
Hi.
Godless Scummer.
Ahoy.
Seraphim Hyde, who didn't leave last night. She was still here from the previous show.
Woo, party!
And Sam. Good morning.
Hello.
I literally woke Sam up, so yeah.
Oh, so at least someone got some sleep.
Yeah, not much though.
I had just gotten home and messaged Dave. I was like, hey, do you still need somebody? Because if not, I'm going to sleep. He's like, nope, need somebody. I'm like, all right, fine.
Ah, it's Wednesday. Is everyone over the last weekend and ready for the hell of the next one?
What's wrong with the next
to go
weekend?
back to work.
I don't know. The last weekend should have been good.
Yeah.
No, last
tomorrow,
weekend I worked the entire fucking thing. No, it sucked.
rather than
I'm going to work this
weekend,
weekend too.
Rather than weekend, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because I get to progress with corrupting one of my friends because he's a fucking lightweight and he's never tried shots.
Wow.
Right. I think Stool fell asleep. I see what I get for trying to get him in the mornings. I've never had him on in the mornings. I don't think he really does
Yeah.
mornings.
Dave, it's coming up to 3:30 in the afternoon. How the fuck is this the morning?
It's the morning to most other people, apparently.
It's okay,
Morning.
yeah. I'm speaking specifically to Dave here.
Just out
I
of
mean,
interest,
like-
what time have you been finishing work until you stopped?
You know I'm furloughed at the moment.
No, I meant before that. Your normal. Well, let's go back to January. What time did you finish work?
About 4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending.
So you see, that's when morning that ends. When you finish work, 'cause you only work mornings.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, interesting logic there.
I've got to justify it somehow.
Those days when I used to be like done at 10 o'clock in the morning, they're fucking long gone.
Right, some questions. Do you know how many questions we made it through last night?
3,
3 or
5.
3 or 4, 5.
5. I'm so proud of us.
Well,
that
you
was well done.
That was slow.
you included in those other little supplemental ones that other people asked.
No. The actual legitimate questions, there was 5. And it shows
What's
it
the
went
goal?
for an hour
What's
and...
the goal?
The goal was about 10.
Oh,
Eight's normally acceptable, though.
7 or 8 is normally what we end up with. I write 12.
To be honest, I didn't think you were getting through 2 at one point.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't convinced.
Yeah, I thought you weren't gonna get through like at most. I thought you were gonna get through maybe 3.
I like the way you say
Dave,
me.
Dave, you
Yeah.
you know what is you're risking when you bring Stool on. You have no one to blame but yourself. You know what's going to happen.
Yes, let's all blame Stool. It's all his fault.
Stool
No,
has
no,
been
no.
behaving-
It's not Stool. Dave knows what happens when you let him out of the corner.
Stool has been behaving. At the last few shows that Stool has been on, he's been fantastically good. He's been unbelievably entertaining and not distracting too much.
Oh, Dave,
But
I'm
his,
not.
his being distracting is entertaining for the most part.
Dave, I'm not saying he's not entertaining. He's fucking hilarious. But, if you're expecting to get through 10 questions, you should know better.
So what you're saying is I need to bring Stool on more, it'd be less effort writing questions.
that
It
is
could
true.
be. It could actually work. That way.
Yeah,
you
that
might get more mileage out of this.
Yeah.
Caroline approves because she cuts them up. So I think it would be less work for her. Right. First question. Question 1262. Have you ever been called a nickname you didn't like?
Haven't we all?
Quite boringly, no.
I got one I'll get out of the way first off.
Go on.
Nicknames, first off, didn't really stick to me just because I didn't react to them. So the thing that probably lasted the longest was in junior high. I went by the nickname Scruff. And that's just because I didn't shave as much as I probably should have. So
What did you say? Trust, bro?
Gruff.
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 Scruff. Okay.
Gruff. So yeah, it wasn't that bad though for me, just because if you don't acknowledge it, it just kind of moves on.
Ricardo
I think that's
says
a good
yes.
nickname. I couldn't really grow scruff in high school.
I was thinking that. Never Again says yes. They're not telling me what names. I should have put what at the end.
I have one
yeah.
that's so bad I'm not going to say it. It's like
Wait.
personalized to me.
See, there you go. You see, there's our out on this question. I can just say yes. I'm not fucking
Yeah,
telling you
it
what
doesn't say.
was.
It doesn't say what it is.
I'm not. I don't.
Oh,
I'm
I
under
have
no
one-
obligation to do that.
I have one that I really hated that I'm well. I'll share, I guess.
Go on.
When I played American football, I was
Yeah.
I was the fastest kid in our high school, and I was on the varsity team in 8th grade when I was like, I don't know how old you are, 14, and so I always got my ass kicked but I played because I was fast, but I'd always get like tackled behind the line of scrimmage, so my nickname became negative yardage. So that sucked.
Sorry, that's the fault of the people supposed to be blocking for you, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but I'd get the ball, close my eyes, and get scared, and then smashed. Yeah, it sucked.
Lone Wanderer says, it's not the name, it's who's trying to give it to me that makes me cringe. Ooh.
Yeah, if your friends give you a nickname, it's cool. If it's like a bully giving you a nickname,
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Like it's question, and it's also.
I don't know. My friends have given me nicknames I didn't like either. So
Well, Your turn.
Like
next.
what?
Thanks. Okay, next. Sarah.
Well, the short form of my real name that I hate is Mel. I don't like it. It makes me think of Mel Gibson, which I'm not a fan of him. And all the others are from sex stuff. So no.
Microraptor said I was called Quasimodo a few times, but the person who did it stopped as soon as I told him I didn't like it. And Darius says I've been called Baby. There's a lot of people that don't like that.
Yeah.
Everyone else is saying yes.
See, people stop calling me that like nicknames I don't like when I ask them. It's amazing what a polite word and a baseball bat can accomplish.
So what name didn't you like the most?
I'm not saying.
Are there any nicknames you will say that you didn't like?
Jeff with a J. Jeff. That's the one.
Well, no. We established this on Twitter today. Why? Because we're not, with the Jeff with the G and the J thing, right? See, because I think someone was threatening to turn that into the next pineapple on pizza schism. Okay, but here's the thing: who do we get with the G? Geoffrey Chaucer, Geoffrey of Monmouth, and even the cute cuddly giraffe from Toys R Us. With a J, we've got Epstein and Dahmer. I think with a G wins.
Listen, everybody knows that Jeff is spelt Jeoff.
Yeah, your name's Geoff.
Yeah.
Jeoff.
Isn't that like?
Yes.
It's like.
I just want to piss everyone off.
No, it's Jeof. There's no two S. It's just Jeof.
Jeof.
That's the proper spelling.
We've
I
established.
need a phone call. Fuck them. I don't know them. Sorry.
I have another nickname if you want, or just go on.
Go on.
When I transferred universities when I was like 19, and when I moved to the new university, it happened to be on my birthday, like the first day I moved into my house. And so they bought me a birthday cake, and the only one they could find had like Batman on it. Like they found a Batman cake at like 7 p.m. And so everyone called me Batman for like a year because they didn't know my name. They just knew I was like the birthday kid with the Batman. And I hated it. It didn't make any sense. But then like I thought it was pretty cool. After like 2 years, people still call me Batman.
I got nicknamed. Oh, yeah, Brian. I got nicknamed Brain because no one could spell my name. I used to hate it. Now I own it. See, here's the interesting thing. I got nicknamed Dave. My name got shortened to Dave, and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Could not stand it. Until I was probably 18, 19, and all of a sudden I decided fuck it and went with Dave. But I couldn't stand it. And the worst thing is I can't stand David now. Absolutely hate it. Someone called me David.
I got to admit, I don't say it bothers me, but I prefer Jeff over Jeffrey. I don't use Jeffrey. So.
No. But do you not find it weird if someone calls you Jeffrey? It's like it's an identity thing.
It's almost like it's kind of almost like you're back at school and you've done something wrong, and the teacher's like,
See, for the longest time in school, I actually had to go by my last name because there are so many people with the same name as me. So for the longest time, I did not answer to my first name unless it was my family.
It's just occurred to me. No, I'm going to be stupid. I just looked at your name and thought that's your surname, but of course that's not your surname. That's your nick. And said, "Did no one ever call you Jackal?"
They have before because they just see the Hyde. Most people just call me Hyde. I don't know why. They just like completely skip the first part and just go straight for a Hyde.
You want me to tell you a funny story?
Sure.
I wrote a really smutty comment to Bill the other day.
Who's Bill?
Bill is the other person in the community that uses Seraphim.
Male Seraphim, yes. I should bother him. I miss him.
He says he'll be back. He says he'll be back in the new year.
Now, here's the question: is Dave actually a nickname for David, or is there another name for that? Because technically, my name is Chadwick, but I just go by Chad. I only consider that a nickname.
It's weird,
his real name is Rodney.
Yeah, see, I guess the closest I've got to a nickname that I don't like is when people call me my fucking dead name.
Yeah. That would make sense. Right, where are we up to?
I hate it when people call me Chrissy, like to call me a girl. That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't
Micro
get that
says,
a lot.
do you not? I can't imagine why. I think I told Marino, so I've had 1 or 2 Doctor Who themed jokes. More than one person has called me microcrapper. That's terrible. It's actually uninventive.
No, I didn't try to call him microcraptor. I just read it wrong.
Never again wants to hear the smutty comment. I'll tell you later.
I want to hear the smutty comment too. Of course,
No,
you know I
don't.
want to hear it.
You really
no,
don't.
yes, I do.
You
I
don't
do.
want me to say it, is the point. I'll tell you later.
I know. You have to tell me later. Just so you know, you have to tell me. You brought it up. You have to tell me, damn it.
Fair enough. Right. We've done. We've actually got to a question. And
Yay!
it was like,
Next.
look at that, 18 minutes in, and we've made it through a
Not bad.
question.
It's not bad.
We're efficient.
I could try to be more distracting, but that takes effort.
Oh, right. Question 1263. See, I don't think this is a good question for this group. Question 1263. Assuming you're not a fan, if during the act of sex the wrong hole was entered, would you say anything or let the act continue? The problem is, I think it's a better question. Go on.
No, like, even if you are a fan of sex, if they go in the wrong hole, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
That happened last night. So, yeah, I say something. I'm not going to just take it. Fuck that.
I feel like potentially for assigned male at birth people, that should be, would you want the other person to tell you?
Potentially. I think that you're going to have to go that way. I think it's the only way you can really interpret it. Especially given we are looking at an accidental.
Yeah.
My instinct is I never want to go with my first instinct, but I'm going to stick with this time. I'm going to go ahead and say, hell no. I mean, I would actually tell them for sure. And I mean, if it happened to me in one of these situations, if it was uncomfortable, maybe not. Depends on the situation. You'd have to. Depends entirely on the situation.
Yeah,
I mean, how is I don't understand how it's going to go in the wrong hole for me.
Well, no, this is why you have to you have to go the other way.
Well, the thing is, like, if you go in the wrong hole for a woman, only one of them is self-lubricating, and also there are 2 holes in the area, the vicinity, like the immediate vicinity. Well, there's the vagina, and then there's the urethra, and going there for the fucking hurts a lot.
Well, as a straight guy, I would want my female partner to tell me. I'd rather them tell me it's the wrong hole.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell somebody that shit because it hurts and that could do damage, and I'm not about that.
Yeah. And I think any wrong hole stuff should probably be communicated.
Yeah.
I think
I
would imagine that should be communicated rather quickly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I have a funny story, but it's not mine, so I'm not going to tell it. Can I? No, I can't. No, I'm tempted because they're a million miles away, but no. So I think we're pretty much agreed that you should anyway.
Yeah.
Is that 2 questions then, Dave? We done?
I was going to say, like,
2 questions in 20-ish minutes. That's
we're gonna have to start being more distracting. I mean, that's gonna make the entertainment value of the show drop otherwise.
That takes effort, and I haven't gotten any fucking sleep.
But this one's not even 50-50, is it? I think we all agreed it should be communicated.
yeah, it was just kind of like,
There's really nothing to really discuss here, isn't there?
No.
not really enough.
I got nothing on this one. Just kind of like, yeah.
Apparently, Godless Grady can't understand how a guy can't tell. Some of them can't tell, and some of them try to do it accidentally with quotation marks.
Harmonic about yes. Tell all, have respect for each other.
Right.
Very good.
It's why it's the same, Granny. It's the same reason why not all men are good at golf.
They can't find the hole.
I was going to say that we've had generations now of men not being able to find the clit. You think they are that accurate?
I'm baffled by that. I don't understand why guys can't.
They're scared.
It's like playing because it's like playing darts blindfolded. You see, that's guys. You know.
For frame of reference for people who I've not spoken to before, hi, I'm non-binary.
Hi.
So when I say guys, I do mean guys. I'm not just referring to people besides me that are guys.
Yes. Right. Next question. Question 1264. What's so great about the meek? Is inheritance of the earth really a just reward for not getting in anyone's way?
When do we get the reward? That's really the question.
Yeah.
Well, after you're dead.
If they're coming on Tuesday, that's great, but
it's a good little.
I do.
They can be very, very cute and shy, and it's adorable. That's what's so great about them.
So, I was going to say that, Sarah. I was going to say that they're a lot of fun to top.
Well, I don't top. I can't top. I giggle, but they're adorable and shy.
That's fair.
It's a good way of keeping the proletariat in line. That's all that is.
Basically, yeah.
You get heaven after you die. Great. Well,
just know your role.
Bullshit down here, yeah.
I was going to say, Microraptor says, obviously this they've mistranslated it. Should have said geek. Watchtower Watcher is objecting to the geek.
What's so special about the cheesemakers? Come on, you knew it had to go there sooner or later.
One way or another. Junkshop says, from a wrong hole question to Sermon on the Mount question. Exactly.
Again, Dave likes variety.
Shut up, Big Nose.
That's not nice to call me Big Nose.
Is meek generally a good
mean.
That was aimed at Dave, actually, but but you have got a big nose, Big Nose.
When I was a girl in church, I thought it was a good thing. All the assholes would fuck off and leave the earth to me. See, that sounds like perfect.
Wait, is meek generally a good character trait? Like,
it's one of
in that context, it is.
It's one of the traits that I think Jesus said at some point. The meek will inherit the earth.
See, I always interpreted it as like all the non-meek people, which are like the people that are very, very aggressive. They'd kill each other off, and the only ones that'll be left over would be the meek, because we'd be like, or they would be at like, fuck this, we're not going to take part.
Microraptor says, I like my messiahs open-minded enough to not mind people doing it in the wrong hole.
I feel like that's an okay statement, though. Like, I don't. Do you think the meek even want to inherit the earth?
Well, the point is you will get your reward. If you are passive, if you don't make waves, if you do what you're told, you will get the riches of the earth.
So if you're a good submissive, you will get you'll get your reward.
So is that written in a way to like submit people from rebellion, or
that's the first piece. That's the first piece of anti-trade union legislation.
Okay. Okay. So like, be quiet, step down, and you'll inherit the earth.
Yeah, it's basically.
I mean, I guess it's a just reward. Fine. I don't know.
Well, it's basically money laundering, but spiritual.
So apparently the meek are going to try to put it in the wrong hole. Gotcha.
That's what the chat says.
Yes.
Then Never Again says, don't assume it's the wrong hole. I say, just ask. I can't wait till this question is cut up, because people are going to have absolutely no clue what the hell we're talking about. See, this is the point. This idea of a promise of something greater, but you not.
Yes. But the question becomes, when do you get the reward? Because if the reward is intangible, then no, the question is not worth it, because you never get anything. So that's why I was asking if I inherit the world next Tuesday. That's kind of an important thing. When do the meek inherit it?
Microraptor says, I can't wait for Junk Shop Library to get to the part of the Bible about being a good submissive.
So, are you saying, Dave, that it could be just that it's too much of a reward or not enough of a reward? Too much, right?
Well, it's not enough. That's
Or
the
depending
point.
on the time. Well, what if you inherited the earth like tomorrow? That's a huge reward. Or I don't even know what that means.
Well, that's another question.
Yeah, the problem is if it is next Tuesday, everyone that's meek is going to inherit the earth.
Then I think it'd be all right. Now, 10 years from now,
What, with like a democracy where all the meek like vote together or something?
we're going to be democracy. We just basically we nominate people and only elect people who don't want to go for office.
Are you saying, Dave, there should be a better reward than inheriting the earth?
For not getting in anyone's way, for being passive, for letting everyone else screw you over and over again. Yes.
Yep.
Like, okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't know these Bible verses. Like, that's the first time I've actually read that.
Well, you're not letting.
Yeah.
Do you think inheriting the earth is a just reward? And do you think being meek is great?
It's a great quality sometimes in a sub, but besides that, why would they want to inherit the earth? At the point at which it was implied they would inherit the earth, it's probably been destroyed by the sun.
Yeah.
We'll inherit the meek will inherit the earth after everyone else fucked it up.
Yeah.
It's done.
You see, this sounds like a bully at a basket that steals the basketball.
Yeah.
You can have it later after we've popped it.
It always goes back to popped balls with you, doesn't it, Dave?
I'm bitter about it.
But like there's two questions. What's so great about the meek?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that they're not like arrogant and like suppressive themselves? Or I don't know.
I don't know. Is there any? I mean, it's
Who's going to
nice.
defend the meek?
I mean, I suppose technically, it does mean gentle, easily imposed, submissive, whatever, rather than it being a sort of class thing or whatever, which I think, is kind of often how it's interpreted in the Bible, isn't it? It's a kind of class thing, but
That's how I think it.
I don't know.
I
I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to either question. I don't know.
This is the problem.
I might be wrong about that, but I'm just.
Yeah. Microraptor says, here hell has floggers, and I've been a very bad girl by Bible standards.
Oh my god, yes, I'm so for it.
Ricardo says, so has anyone considered that inherit the earth could just be a pile of rubble? Yes. The meek will inherit the earth because they were hiding when all the nukes went off. Say again?
I said, but there's time now.
Yes.
There's time. 2020 in a nutshell.
I mean, I feel like being like very submissive and meek is probably not good, and being also inheriting the earth is like too great of a power. So I think people should be somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
I think, like everything else, it's a meaningless offer.
It is an apps. Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. The meek will inherit the earth only for the non-meek to take it off of them again. It's a bit, That's the way it would work.
So if you were meek and inherited the world, and someone said, "Give me the world, or I'll shoot you," you just here's the world.
Give me the
world, nerd.
All right.
I think the problem is history shows the meek do not inherit the earth.
Yes.
It's the person with the biggest sword.
And if they did inherit the earth, they would quickly lose it. I think, yeah.
To someone with a big sword, it's very shouty.
Yes.
Probably wouldn't even need the sword, just shout really loudly and they're like, no!
Isn't that kind of like what happens in what's that movie? The one with William and Longshanks. What's that movie? Braveheart. So Longshanks has like his son is like a big wimp, right? And he's about to inherit the emperor, but like he's such a pussy, you would never be able to hang on to it.
That means, I hate that film, but
do you what?
guys, I've got this. I don't know. I understand you've got to take a little bit of poetic, like license with historical films, but that was beyond a fucking joke.
Well, yeah, I think historically it was a
historically?
bit of a joke.
Yeah,
I thought it was
beyond it. Yeah.
My only point was like Longshanks' son wouldn't have been able to inherit everything because he was too meek. Like maybe they don't go together, so it's not a good reward.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, fingers is what I said. I don't think Edward II was a meek king. I think it's he was ineffectual in war, definitely. But it was kind of it's kind of the standard trope of associating meek with being gay, because that was well known about Edward II.
If the Bible meant that how do I phrase that? If the Bible meant that the gays would inherit the earth, that sounds fantastic.
The earth will be fabulous.
Gay gender prophecy.
But even that word's sort of taken on different, because gay was just, at one time was just a common word for like happiness, sort of being happy, merry,
I meant to look up why that word got transferred, but part of me, I've seen many jokes that suggest that it's because they don't have wives.
Well, yeah, I mean that was the joke. That was the joke about marriage, isn't it? That should be able to get married and be miserable like the rest of us.
Yes. Where's the chat? Never again has probably never been nicknamed Meek. Should we all start calling Sandy Meek now? See how well it fits.
I mean, if they really want me to.
Right. Next question, I think. Bing. Question 1265. If you had a single spare vaccine after giving yourself one and your loved ones to prevent all diseases, would you give it to an anti-vaxxer if they asked for it?
No, fuck them. No, fuck them. They wouldn't take it anyway.
I mean, that's exactly how I was gonna word it too. It's like, no, fuck them.
Are they still an anti-vaxxer? Like, why would they ask for it if they're an anti?
Yeah, I want to get into what you're thinking on the question here.
Yeah, I would suspect that.
So why are they asking you for a vaccine if they're an anti-vaxxer?
Well, I would suspect
it's to destroy it, but unless it was like an anti-vaxxer I knew and I knew they wanted to use it for themselves, then
like if they changed their mind, I guess I would give it to them. But probably not, because they fucking hindered the production of the vaccine for forever. So fuck them. Like, just for having been anti-vax for 10 years, like, fuck you. I'd rather give it to someone who's been like a scientist who's been working on the vaccine than someone who didn't bother to learn about it.
I think anti-vaxxers, like a lot of things, though, they fall into the two categories of the ones who were doing the deceiving and the ones who were being deceived. But I do have a real disdain for anti-vaxxers, serious disdain. Especially as people know me, there's certain vaccines I can't have at the moment because I'm on immunosuppressants. So, there's some vaccines I can't have. So I've got to rely on the herd immunity for certain things, and these fucking assholes are affecting that.
Yes. Oddly enough, Sarcastic Barman said, and I've just completely lost it, fuck no, that's a waste. I'd give it to a laboratory.
Yeah.
True. We're given the option, an anti-vaxxer versus whom? So if it's an anti-vaxxer versus throwing it in the trash, I mean, yeah, give it to him. But
I think it's against someone else coming along in a few weeks' time and potentially asking you for it.
I think it's a safe bet that you're going to bump into someone who isn't an anti-vax fucking moron in the time, who will want it and might appreciate it a bit more. So
I wouldn't give it to an anti-vaxxer because they're not critical thinkers and they don't bother to do their research, and that person could potentially be harming the rest of the world. So I would rather give it to someone who's been correct like their whole life on the situation.
Have we established that they're going to use it, or are they going to throw it out?
Wait, it sounds like 2 seconds. It sounds like in this scenario, we're in an apocalypse sort of scenario. I can't think of any other scenario where right. And here's the thing: how do we know that the reason that the rest of the population has died out is not because of fucking anti-vaxxers?
Well, then they deserve to fucking die. Fuck them.
Yeah. So in that situation, you basically beg the question that fuck them.
And I love the fact as well you said about
anti-vaxxers nuke the world.
And I love the fact, Chris, you said there about they don't do their research. Yet those 3 words there, those 3 or 4 words, do your own research, is their fucking mating call because they've watched a few videos on YouTube.
Oh, I know.
I love it when people try to flex on research.
I'll be back in 2 secs because you can tell this is a topic I can go off on a massive rant about. I fucking despise these people.
2 seconds, do we catch him on the chat?
So, Dave, are you saying that I'm like in a situation where I have one vaccine in my hand and the only person who wants it is an anti-vaxxer?
The only person that's there right now is an anti-vaxxer. Just a second.
I'm going to make an argument here.
Wait.
I'm going to say give it to the anti-vaxxer and hear me out. Epidemiologically speaking, getting a vaccine into somebody earlier is going to have a better effect on the population than getting it into them later. So if the hypothetical is I have to hold on to it and wait for somebody else, it's better mathematically for me to give it to that person now, especially given the fact that these researchers are the kind of people that like to go out and touch things in the food markets. So
there's a chance that they'll say it didn't work, even because they never got sick. That's the logic. That's the logic. Right, Ox says, nope, they pick their path, let them walk it, no pity for stupidity. Catnip, them know their kids maybe. The Lone Wanderer says, but people change their minds. Gandiri says, I'll force it on them.
Well, I'm kind of there too, like drink guns at this point, right? I'll give it to them if they want it or not. Just give me a dart gun.
I'm just confused on like how much longer would it take for a scientist to ask me for the vaccine? Like 5 minutes, or are they talking about 5
this
years?
is why I posited.
How many scientists you hang out with?
I don't know, none.
Well, it might take a while.
No, everybody in my life is. I don't know any anti-vaxxers at all.
Harmonica Man says, if they asked for it, they're no longer an anti-vaxxer. You're assuming they're going to use it.
Yes. Yeah. So I would think you should allow someone to change their mind. I think that's
give it to them so that they can put it under a microscope to find the microchips. You should give it to them so that they don't find the microchips.
They'll just believe that the equipment's not powerful enough to find it.
Well,
they're convinced of something. That's what they
get rid of most of them. You'll take a swath of them off. There's always going to be some level of crazy you can't do anything about. But
I think for me the only important thing I want to say is if this anti-vaxxer now is not an anti-vaxxer, I would maybe give it to them with the thought that they changed their mind. Now they have an open mind and they're learning.
Yeah, but how do you know they're an anti-vaxxer? How do you know they're not an anti-vaxxer now?
Well, why would they? Okay, so if I don't know that,
how
there's
do
no
I
way.
know that they're an anti-vaxxer in the first place, though? Did they just walk up to you and say, "Hey, I'm an anti-vaxxer. Can I have that?"
They have a tendency to be quite vocal.
Yeah, I'd say they were prominent anti-vaxxer. We could go with they were a prominent anti-vaxxer. I'm sure Jeff could mention one.
So no, I would just say no. I'm done. No.
No.
I'll just use it. I'll use it on myself after the first vaccine doesn't work. And I need to let it go.
I'll take it twice to make sure it works. Harmonica Man says, no, fuck. I've got to get the language right here. No, fuck them delusional turd lickers. Trud Drug says, yes, because as stupid as anti-vaxxers are, they can still spread disease affecting those who cannot take vaccines like Jeff. So there is a third option here. Assuming this is the apocalypse, you could not give them the vaccine and kill them.
Sweet. Murder all the way. Let's do it. I know where some pig farms are.
That's not serious.
Kill the poor.
Say again?
Kill the poor.
Kill the poor.
Have you tried to kill the
poor? Have you put it in the computer?
You're gonna offer me the option of murder, and you're gonna be all like, "Haha, no murder." That's not nice. Don't tease a bitch.
Don't tease.
Stop being a tease.
Never again would give it, but would also mutter about hypocrisy while giving it to them. IQ says, yes, you give it to the most prolific, influential anti-vaxxer with the chance that it will change their mind and convince others. Yeah, but they're just as likely. They could take it, and then turn around and say,
hey, look, I'm never ill.
No. At worst, they can turn around and say, "Oh, I'm terrible. I've got this cough. I never had this cough before the vaccine."
See, my thing is like the moment I give it to them, like 2 weeks later, they'll probably die of like a heart attack, and they're like, "Oh no, vaccines cause heart attack!" Ah.
Junction says nowhere in the question. Nowhere in it does it mention apocalypse. The problem is, I can't imagine any scenario where I would have the last vaccine of something, and I would be in a position to give it to someone other than an apocalypse. Ricardo says, so anti-vaxxers are no longer deserving of empathy.
No.
They are, but you're
No, they are.
They
I think everybody deserves empathy because you need to understand that people who are religious or don't know about science, they just didn't learn it. Like, it's how they're brought up. I will always give someone like 10 chances to change their life.
One thing I can tell you as a teacher is that common sense is not common. I mean, there's no such thing as there's no such thing as unique common experiences in everybody. But even if you put two people in the same room and give them the same experience, they take away two different things. So you can never assume somebody understands something the way you do. So if you don't know at least 3 ways of explaining something, you don't understand it well enough.
Watchtower Watcher says, I would make them have to solve a series of puzzles, each more devious than the last, to find it.
Would you also laugh like maniacally while you're doing it the entire time? Please tell me you will. Exactly, something like that. You have to laugh maniacally the entire time, or at least intermittently between it. Like when they're like, "When's my next test?" It's like, "Mwah." I can't do that. I cannot do a maniacal laugh. I'm sorry. Insert that laugh and then tell them.
I feel like I would be the asshole that would set up a series of complex traps for someone to find a vaccine in an apocalypse.
Because my giggle doesn't have the same effect.
With it. There are people who choose not to vaccinate who are not anti-vaxxer. A vaccine is meds, and I should have the choice as to whether to put the meds in my body. That is a choice, and not being anti-vaccine. Yes and no. There is definitely an argument there. But from a public health perspective, that's like saying you should have the right to not have roads.
Right.
Or the right to not wear
You said a prominent anti-vaxxer if I had a choice.
Yeah.
Let's take. I'll just say one then. Andrew Wakefield.
Is he getting the vaccine?
No,
Yes.
he can fuck off.
Right in the eye.
Right in the eye.
That's fucking good for him. Because that asshole started all this shit, and he knows better. He knows better.
Yes, he does,
He was a doctor, you know. He started this bullshit, and it's what people don't seem to forget about. That is one of the reasons he was struck off, not just because of is how badly his experimentation went with it, but he had a financial interest in a company that was making a rival product to the MMR vaccine.
Yes.
The bloke's a hypocrite, and since he's been struck off, he's gone around preaching anti-vax for the last 25 years. So if it's him, fuck off. Fuck off. He can die.
Jenny says the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the one. We are in a society who are not in individual bubbles. We depend on each other for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That sounds very American.
Yes.
America, fuck yeah.
America.
Wait, aren't there loads of vaccines in jet planes spraying it in the clouds? So everyone would be fine.
Okay, I changed my answer. My answer is yes, right in the eyeball.
Ox says if they take the vaccine, they aren't an anti-vaxxer anymore. There's no guarantee they're going to take the vaccine. And Chris says it's important to let people learn and change their mind. Junk Shop's shouting at me.
I wouldn't give it to an anti-vaxxer at all. I just wouldn't. But
that's what's so insidious about this. Unfortunately, that's what is so fucking insidious about these people, though. It's most of them who are out there shouting this off are people who have been vaccinated, but they're not getting their blooming kids vaccinated.
Nope. But no, there's also a lot of them that have multiple kids. Like their older kids are vaccinated, but the younger ones aren't.
Yeah.
And for some odd reason, they insist that their older kids are just sick and unwell and not normal, while their vaccinated kid is like the golden child.
Yeah. Yandere says, make it like Saw.
Yeah.
Brainbug said, these people are victims of their own deficiencies and manipulated by people they think they can trust. I
That I
have
agree
empathy
with-
for them
I agree
and
with
religious
Ben,
people.
As I said earlier, it's a difference between the ones who are being deceived and the ones who are doing the deceiving. Now, I can have some empathy with those who are being deceived. I still would like them to listen to fucking reason, but the ones who are actively doing the deceiving, a lot of them fucking know better. No, they fuck off, and they're
I would
stupid.
argue that those are the same people, though, because you can't hold on to a bad idea without defending the bad idea. I mean, especially when somebody confronts you with it. So
I say yes, you can, but not with confrontation.
Well,
but the problem is the human mind tends to go to defending the. It doesn't even. It doesn't very often doesn't even try and engage with defending the idea. It just tries to defend the tribe that is associated with that idea. If that kind of makes sense, you kind of shut off. Your brain shuts off.
Exactly.
It's one of those things. I mean, I do not honestly. It's one of those things people don't like. I mean, I don't honestly engage people that call themselves pro-life.
Yeah.
When I engage them, I in no way particularly consider their arguments because I think they're bullshit.
I never used to engage these people until this year when they tried to use pro-choice arguments against fucking isolating for COVID.
I mean, pro-life or pro-choice?
So they do the pro-choice thing. It should be our choice. Our choice to, my body, my choice to go to fucking church or whatever the fuck it is, or the bloody Trump rallies or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't engage them, but I have to deal with a bunch of them.
Okay, I don't want to particularly go down that route. I was trying to make a point about the fact that
I know.
I don't consider their arguments. Okay, because I've been through their arguments. I have taken them apart. So when I'm actually engaging with them, I am not considering their arguments. I am just trying to throw back things that counter them.
But the thing is, anti-vax has already had a really, it's had a really, really bad effect. I mean, there's no way in the Western world, especially like America, Britain, Canada, wherever it may be. I don't know about. I've got to be okay. I'll just say Canada. I don't know about Canada, but certainly in the US and in Britain, we've had outbreaks of measles we shouldn't be fucking getting because of these people.
Yes. Oh, and polio should be gone. I mean, it's one of those things we were looking at 20 years ago. We were looking at polio literally being wiped out on this planet.
Like I was brought up being told that polio didn't really exist anymore. There were only a couple of cases.
It was down to negligible numbers, and we were people like the Bill Gates Foundation and other charities were spending a fortune getting the vaccines into those areas, and then all of a sudden, religious dickheads started saying that they were using it to sterilize.
I'm just gonna push back on something that Theo said in the chat there about bodily autonomy is bodily autonomy. Whether it's pregnancy or forced vaccines. The problem is when it's coming to anti-vaccines, though, it's not just their bodies that they're put at risk. It's generally their children's bodies. Their children have a fucking right to not get fucking measles.
A lot of people think that people think that minors, like children or people under the age of, like in the United States, 18, they think they're property. Like they can do with a child what they want. That child is theirs. They have complete say over what that child does and does not get, does and does not do.
Right.
That's the problem. I'd have no issue if they were just fucking themselves up. I'd let them fucking, but they're fucking other people up. That's my problem with them.
The problem is, okay, I'm going to say one thing on the vaccine things before I go back to the original question rather than the discussion, and that is that I have no problem. I don't agree with forcing a vaccine on someone, but I think it is perfectly reasonable to exclude someone from any sort of shared societal resource if they don't have it, which has the effect of forcing them to take it. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't see you, for example, sending your kids to public school.
That would be fine if it was enforceable. That's just impossible in any possible world. Like it's just
How is it not enforceable? You give someone a vaccine when if they don't have a vaccine certificate when they attend school, they're not allowed into school.
But which schools? Private schools, public schools? Then you're talking about going to public parks, and you're getting into a situation. It's kind of an all or nothing thing. It's one of the reasons why, going back to the vaccine thing, and you guys were talking about polio in terms of eradicating things. In terms of COVID, we were done here in the Maritimes since like June. We didn't have cases. Every case we had was something imported from outside the borders. So we're kind of getting the whole thing. We're like, well, just kind of get your shit together, people. Like we're kind of, so it's very much the same sort of thing as the polio.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where I was going with that one, but anyway.
Right. It's okay. We'll get back to the thingy because we'll get back to the chat. Cripple. Jenny says, bing. Of course, our better angel says that the compassion in our hearts must guide us to give the anti-vaxxer the vaccine. Judge not lest ye be judged. I don't know, biblical thing. Lone Wanderer says we need to change the subject because everyone is triggered. I completely agree. We're meant to be on the specifics of giving the damn anti-vaxxer the vaccine. I'm skipping over the rest of that.
Well, Dave, I can give my answer real quick. I would not give it, and I would just wait for someone who has a proven track record of being a critical thinker, and someone who, if I gave them the vaccine, I'd be 100% sure they'd be on board with like the future of science and stuff. If I gave it to someone with the track record of being an anti-vaxxer, I don't know. It's questionable. I wouldn't know if they're going to use it for nefarious purposes or not.
I would. My answer is I would be looking for someone on similar lines to that. But I'd also be looking at someone who might have the ability to take that one thing and produce more of it.
Yeah, like give it to a scientist.
What you want? That's
yeah.
what
Someone said they would give it to like a research lab or something earlier.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, exactly. But going it to an anti-vaxxer, if you can tell, I know I should have more empathy from them, but I don't. I'm sorry. They can fuck off.
If this is the apocalypse, where are you going to catch COVID from? There's nobody else around if it's that hard to find somebody.
Oh, this question's not actually about COVID. It says a vaccine to prevent
everything.
Well, no, but in same idea, right? Like, where are you going to find somebody? It's anyways.
True. All right, I'm done talking about this.
Yes. Seraphim, would you give them the vaccine? One word answer.
No.
Sam. If Sam didn't run away.
Sam's muted.
Oh, sorry, I'm still muted. No, I would not give them the vaccine unless they were like pretty much the only person left on the planet.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Lone Wanderer is quickly triggered. How can you say anti-vaxxers are not critical thinkers because they have an unpopular opinion? Because their opinion is demonstrably wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's the demonstrably wrong bit.
Like 95% of the time, their opinion's wrong. I'm just saying most people who are anti-vaxxers are also incorrect on a lot of other scientific
And it's
subjects.
not an unpopular opinion. It's just wrong. It's an opinion. Opinion gives like the thing like it could or could not be correct.
I suppose the issue here is she talking about the fact that they are anti-vaxxers in terms of they don't like vaccines, or is she talking about the fact that where we're talking about the science and that they think they don't like it because it's got mercury in it, or things that?
Well, that's fine. That's fine. So I guess to clarify my position specifically, if I had one vaccine, I wouldn't give it to like the flat earther either, because because you've been convinced the Earth is flat, you are not going to be a scientist useful enough to be worth saving. You're not a good critical thinker.
I'm not going to say in every single case, but I guarantee you talk to most flat earthers, you're probably going to find out that they're anti-vaxxers as well. Because generally, if they're into flat Earth, they are into every goddamn ridiculous fucking conspiracy theory going.
There's a lot of overlap. Yeah.
I find it very disturbing that there are flat earthers that are not God believers, because virtually all of them are. But every now and again, you get one that's not.
Yeah. But you got. Yeah, it doesn't have to be God, but it's people that are prone to conspiratorial thinking, though, Dave.
They tend to come from religion. They tend to be brought up in religion.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, I got a friend who is he's gotten way worse since like this year, and to the point where it's really tested the friendship. Now I've got to say he hasn't gone full on flat Earth yet, but he has gone down so many goddamn conspiracy rabbit holes that he's really testing my friendship with him. It really is.
Right, I know what you mean though. Right, moving on. Let's have a nice sane question. Question 1266. The world is about to end. Oh crap, another apocalypse. You are invited to escape to a space colony. They have a protein slime for nutrition, but you can take the ability to make 3 foods. What would you take?
Only 3 foods?
Yeah.
Does that include does that include like foods and drinks as well? Would
Yes.
that be included?
Wait, what does this protein slime have to do with anything?
You don't need
Soylent Green is
anything
people too.
with nutrition.
So basically your question is, if you had a replicator with only 3 settings, what would you put in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, beer, obviously.
Yeah.
And if you're non-alcoholic, I'm evil.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No.
So it's a Mormon colony, is what you're saying.
Actually, no, to be honest, though, I prefer not to, but I can drink non-alcoholic beer. I've done that before.
You're saying that like you're proud.
Yeah, I can.
He survived.
I'm drinking non-alcoholic beer too.
I guarantee nobody's going to say pineapple pizza.
You're wrong already.
Well,
Jenny
fuck.
says no pineapple on pizza. Kuiper Queen says pizza, taco, and burgers. Ox says pineapple pizza, tequila, and hot dogs.
So you're saying to live we're okay to live? Like, what's my favorite 3 foods, basically?
Yes.
Beer.
What? Basically.
Okay.
But
Beer.
in mind, you have to eat these 3 foods
Beer.
forever.
Yes.
Beer, curry, and just to annoy Dave, Marmite.
I'm staying on
Why
Earth as
would
he's taking Marmite.
Marmite.
Beer,
Say again?
cheese.
Wait there. Sam, what did you say?
I said, why would you choose Marmites?
Because he's evil.
Just to annoy Dave.
Because Marmite is pure.
Because Marmite is my mate.
Yandiri
My
says
mate
mixed
Marmite.
nuts, dried fruit, and seeds. Jenny Morgan says, okay then, if pineapple, then anchovies on the pizza. Lone Wanderer says rice, spinach, and wine. A third of the world population relies on rice as the main source of nutrients. And the slime is probably made out of rice. Ricardo says red wine, cheese, and apples. That sounds like a very middle-class evening.
You know what? This one's going to sound weird. I'm just going to go ahead and say barbecue pizza, like chicken pizza, trail mix, and rum.
That sounds all right.
See, the trail mix, you got to think about your grazing as well, not just the meal.
You have slime to graze on.
Can we
But you want it to taste more like trail mix and slime, you see.
Can we be on the same colony then? Because rum just narrowly missed my list.
Hang on.
But trade beer for rum.
Carbonated rum. We've got to get on this.
I'd trade beer for rum too.
Seraphim.
What flavor is the slime?
It's relatively flavourless.
What
It's
sucks?
is it like injected into your veins?
Soylent
I'm
Green.
assuming it's Soylent Green.
Yes.
Just
That's
saying.
like- yeah, that's
All right.
it.
So mine would be pepperoni and cheese pizza, pork lo mein, and barbecue potato chips.
Could the Dave,
Excuse me. What?
Dave, if the slime could be Marmite flavoured, see, I could change an answer.
No, you're
No.
stuck with the Marmite now. You
No,
taking it. I'm going to a different
I'm-
colony. You get all the Marmite. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm
Dave,
tempted
you
to
can come
take
to my
your-
colony.
I'm tempted to take.
Well, I have cheese on mine.
I'm tempted to take your beer away so that you can have extra Marmite.
Let me have a look.
I-
Let's have a look. Can you ferment Marmite? I'm pretty sure you could.
Yeah, of course.
Ferment anything, sir.
Yeah, I'd
Little bit
probably
of
go
cheese,
with.
ferment anything.
Go on, Sam.
I'd probably go with, and this will change depending what mood I'm in, but at the moment it would probably be cider, chicken and sweet corn pizza, and toad in the hole.
Very nice. Toad in the hole.
What was the last one?
Toad in the hole.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I'm hungry.
is.
I haven't eaten.
The chat's starting to get hungry as well. Micro
Okay, Marmite soldiers for everyone in the chat.
See, I've
No.
not even had breakfast yet, and we're 4:20. Because when we said Dave woke me up, we're not kidding.
Junk Shop says, I feel like everyone's overlooking the weirdly specific slime aspect of the question. Why?
Well, that's why I was
I'm getting Soylent Green.
Yeah.
It's made
Chris.
of people, just so you know.
What, me?
Yeah.
All right, I would take some foods that have a bunch of foods mixed into them. So like chop suey, shepherd's pie, and like I don't know, Taco Bell nachos. So then I have like everything. Except I want grapes on the nachos so I can ferment it into wine.
We're talking about like a
Can you ferment the green slime into wine or something?
No!
Why
No,
not?
It's a protein paste, not a carbohydrate paste. Pay attention.
Well, that sucks. That's true.
Well, you could turn nachos into beer or something. I know we could do that.
I'm surprised that no one's just not going to take sugar.
It has to go through the machine to become the other things.
Well, I'm diabetic, so
You use sugar to ferment. Type of
to
queen
be
says,
honest,
cheese,
I mean,
spiders, and celibacy. I don't think she gets the point, or I think she very much
I mean,
gets the point.
if we were answering this realistically, something like sugar would be a very valid answer when we were just obviously.
Yeah, it's not intended to be that way,
it.
but you all seem to be trying to ferment things. That's just why I went that way. Ox says,
Yeah, if you had
"This
to speak. Sorry, go ahead.
Ox says, this sucks, now I'm hungry. Jenny says, eggs, hash browns, and corned beef hash. Oh, that would do me. That would really do me.
Yeah.
Junk Shop says, now I can't stop craving pizza. Jenny Morgan says, oatmeal cookies, red velvet cake, and pumpkin pie. I hate pumpkin pie.
I feel like that's cheating. We should break it down to more like simple components.
Junk Shop Library. Now I want oatmeal cookies too. Do we just need to list foods to see whether Junk Shop wants them? Microraptor says, isn't Marmite fermented Trump farts already? Yes, it is.
No, Marmite is the nectar of the gods.
Ox says, beans on toast. There we go.
Beans on toast is pretty good.
Is Marmite the same as Vegemite in Australia?
No, Vegemite's worse.
Vegemite's more potent. Marmite's like a soft version of Vegemite.
Okay. When I was diving the Great Barrier Reef and I went down like deeper than I was certified for, and when I came up, they punished me by making me eat a bunch of Vegemite.
Jenny says, bald eagle, spotted owl, and California condor.
Oh, what a carnivore!
Oh, you see, now I'm thinking I want to take turtles. Giant Galapagos turtles.
I was thinking about the beagle. They're too damn delicious. You can't get them off.
Yeah.
Can't get them off the island.
I know. It took 100 years to scientifically classify them.
We're not. Nobody's taking tomato soup because we're not having a discussion over whether it's atheist or not.
Yeah.
Milk cooking. I think Dave's just craving something else. I said,
It doesn't mean to not take
What?
a rock, of course.
Are bananas atheists?
I'm going to kick you. Right. Next
Where's
question.
Badger when we need him?
Badger when you need him? Hey.
All right. The next question I think is apt for this panel. Question 1267. Free weed or free alcohol for the rest of your life? Which would you choose?
That's tough. That's a tough one. I'm going to actually say free weed.
It depends. What else do we have to do with the rest of our lives? Do we still have to function?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't expect this one to be a long question where you had to consider it.
I don't have to. I've got this. I've got an easy answer. I'll just say it and be done.
Go on.
For me, weed is more expensive than alcohol, especially in Vietnam. So, and also, I think if I smoke weed every day, my health won't be too compromised. So I like the expensive alcohol because alcohol is very dangerous to my health. So I will, if I had free alcohol, like infinite beer, I would drink way too much and I'd be dead in like 2 years. So I'll take free weed. No problem.
I
So-
already drink probably too much beer than I already should be. But so I need sort of obviously a little bit of financial restriction there is good. So weed I could smoke what I think it's been, I don't know if I've smoked a joint at all this year actually. But so something I could easily get hold of if I wanted it, but I'm not particularly bothered by it. So but it'd be nice to have it like free there to have if I wanted it.
Yeah,
you know.
That's fair.
And like, because it sometimes I'll admit, like if I do get into a state where I'm like really stressed out or really had a bit of a mental health crash or something, actually smoking a joint, I do find it does help a little bit. It's not a cure, but it just helps a bit.
I agree.
Takes the edge off, as we say. It just takes the edge off it a little bit. But I think with beer, I need something like a little bit of financial restriction on myself there. I think like alcohol.
Yeah, so we agree, right? So if we had unlimited free alcohol, there's a risk there that we could go down to like a huge dark spiral. I don't think I would overdose on like weed, so that wouldn't really be a problem. That's kind of my.
So
we agree.
I happen to know what I'm like both with access to free weed and with access to free alcohol. So I'm gonna go with free weed.
I'm gonna go with free weed just because an excessive amount of weed can kind of get theatrical, because you can take like a pound, like just imagine taking a pound of weed and just lighting them up like torches in an enclosed space and just hanging out. I mean, if you have a quantity of that stuff, you can actually get into arts and crafts, right? So I would go with weed at this point.
Fair enough. Let me do the chat quickly because I've.
What about you, Dave?
Just wait. I haven't done Sarah yet either. Yandiri says
sorry.
alcohol. Ricardo says red wine. Jess says weed. Never Again says weed isn't free. Damn, no one told me. Microraptor says alcohol. I've never tried weed, but I like alcohol. Ox says weed. Too lazy to keep running to pee from the booze. Junk Shop says frightfully allergic to weed, so that's a no-brainer. Ricardo says I can grow weed, so red wine. Godless Sewing says weed because the only side effects are sleepy, happy, and hungry. Theo says free weed, 100%. Never Again says I need one type of alcohol to make tinctures, but it's not that expensive. Fair enough. 9 o'clock Hero says weed. Jenny says weed. Never Again says weed, not weeds. No.
Seems like the weeds have it.
Say again.
Seems like the weeds have it.
It does seem like the weeds have it. Microraptor says, "How about free weed and then learning to make alcohol from it? Can you make I didn't know that. Can you make alcohol from weed?
I think you could probably infuse alcohol. Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't. I don't know, but I'm not an expert in brewing, so.
It would
if you can make alcohol from a marijuana leaf, yeah, you could sure for sure.
It would be very difficult because we don't have the
I've certainly had alcohol products made from coca leaves before, so I don't see why you can't do it in weed.
I mean, you're right, and you're definitely right. You can definitely infuse it as well. 9 o'clock Hero says, "Haven't had a spliff in years, but I'll swap it for the whiskey in the flask." Ox says, "Free weed for all and all the booze for Junk Shop." Has any of the people on the stream done a video while high and or drunk? Most of them.
I had a joint just before the stream.
Jenny
most
says,
of them I've been on.
You see? Jenny says, "I'll pick weed, you pick alcohol." And Chris says, free alcohol is too dangerous."
Yeah.
Chris stuff. Right, Sarah.
Sarah.
You not hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought my headphones were acting weird, but apparently they are acting weird. I would go with weed.
Weed. Yeah, I would go weed as well.
Yeah, because again, it takes too much alcohol to get me drunk, and I'm hoping that if this case, my work would not test anymore, or it would be legal in my area or something. Hopefully, so I'll just go with weed.
I think we've reached consensus here, haven't we?
Yes. There you go. Hemp is the preferred source of biomatter for making automotive ethanol. It grows faster than corn and costs way less.
That's the whole. I mean, that's the whole thing with it, isn't it? There's so many uses you could use the plant for.
Well, yeah, but people just say that because they smoke enough of it that they start getting creative. That's all that is.
Yeah, I want to know if we're doing that, are people going to start?
Get enough going.
People going to start dipping petrol tanks the stuff to drink.
Also, Dave, there's something important to discuss about that. Like, if you drink like 2 liters of vodka, you're gonna be drunk as fuck, and you're gonna be hungover and fucked for more than a week. And if you smoke all the weed you can, you'll probably be fine. Like, maybe not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. Like the amount of like physical stress on your liver and how long it lasts. If you want to
have a
into
tummy
altered
ache
states,
from how much shit you eat. That's about it from the weed.
No, but if you want to get into an altered mental state, you can smoke weed and you'll be fucked really quick. Or you have to drink like shit of beer. I don't know. It's just not.
The whole reason that I chose weed is that I know in an evening I've got 2 joints that I can cope with taking 2 joints before my legs are going to give out, because once I start being high, I've got a certain amount of time before my legs just give out. So I can limit myself to how much I can have a day simply by choosing weed.
Okay, so we got 6 for 6, and then the chat likes alcohol.
Well, I like alcohol.
I don't know. I think the chat was
No, the chat was definitely more in favour of weed. There was Junk Shop who can't have weed, so we're sending him all the alcohol. And I think there was one person that wanted wine. I've completely forgotten who.
Okay, well, never mind. I don't know.
We lost Sarah again. Right, penultimate question. Question 1268. You have been asked to memorise 5 words in a particular order. What 5 words would you choose?
Is this a test?
Yes.
I feel like I need a pencil.
Okay, I would choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would remember that.
That works.
Why are we counting? What the fuck?
He wasn't counting;
Okay.
they were words.
Okay, okay, Dave. I'm gonna do mine then. Workers of the world unite.
Ricardo says person, man, woman, camera, TV.
Waiting for that one.
Ox says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sarah, the question is: you have been asked to memorise 5 words in a particular order. What 5 words would you choose?
Do you want collision coverage?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's getting into security issues, right? Like, is it if you forget these 5 words, I'm going to shoot you, or I need these 5 words in order to get access to my money? Those are different situations.
I think you need these words to get access to your money. Is quite good.
Well, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the most obvious one. Okay.
We're getting into password security issues. If it's a password thing, if it's just so that, if somebody walks up and says papers, please, and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they shoot me, that's a different problem.
Yeah, mine's gonna be. Do you want collision coverage? Because that's easy for me to remember because of my work.
Ox says grind, sort, roll, light, inhale, and Jenny says person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Hey, I lost the game.
Hey, I lost the game.
Yeah, that's
what is that from?
I lost.
The cake is a lie.
Okay, I like see you on the flip side.
Impersonated, I'll allow it.
Oh, Godless Sewing says no. There are 4 lights. I like that. Jenny Morgan says, "Come here and fuck me."
Jeez, what is this audience?
You've never been. Welcome to the show.
It's an overflow from yesterday's stream where everyone needed to get laid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ox says, "Tell Trump he is fired."
How about put stool in the corner?
Microraptor says, "Junk shop, insane, or just Bible?" I wonder if the question should have been objects. I think that would have made it harder. I might add that one tomorrow.
Oh, maybe. Why don't you just do it now? I mean, because words is.
Well, what would you do? What would you do if it was 5 words that had to be objects?
Like nouns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like objects.
So, okay.
Does it have to be like objects, or can it also be food?
It could be food, yeah.
Food can be objects.
All right.
Ox says, "Don't pick on poor stool." David Melbourne says, "Don't shit on the floor." Go on.
No, on's not an object.
Okay. No. Okay.
Okay, I got my easy one again.
Go on.
It'll be like ant, bee, cheetah, dog, A B C D E, elephant.
All right. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. You see, I would have gone with Chris, but with fruit.
Okay, hold on. Cheese, spiders, pineapple, pizza, Marmite.
Yandere, ball, cat, horse, critical, mouse.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes wins.
Jenny Morgan says,
I was
"God
trying to
fucking
think of
damn
something
it."
that was like password security type thing. It's like that's something I would remember, but nobody else could guess.
Head, shoulders, knees. There's only 4. Head, shoulders,
And
Hand.
hands, shoulders, knees, and toes.
The
And
and's
can't
not
have and.
And's not an object.
Oh, well, that was still back to the words question. I was still thinking, sorry.
Almost.
Micro Rap
It's a
says,
long
"My
one to
safe
think
word
about.
is Castor Candenis." Candanis? Ox says, "Poor Dave's ball went pop."
I'm just saying it. The shoulders.
Yes.
It's only 4.
And eyes and ears and nose and mouth.
Oh,
You can also do thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Or the
I'd have gone
opposite.
fruit. I'd have gone apples, bananas, something beginning with C,
Coconuts.
It sounds like
nuts.
you remember something.
dildos,
For 5,
eggs.
Dildos.
for 5 things, I'd probably go
Eggs.
hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well played.
that works. Right, should we do the last question and get out of here?
Sure.
Yes.
We can have
I
some
mean, if
breakfast.
you insist.
Question 1269. Would you rather have the fastest internet wherever you go, or have a flying car?
Internet done.
Do we have to fuel the car?
No.
Okay. I'm going to take the flying car. I can always, because then you can always go where there's good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't bring your green screen with you and shit, can you? Maybe.
Roll
I
it up,
would-
dude.
I would also go flying car, but that's just because a lot of my friends live too far away for me to feasibly get there now.
True.
Junk
That
Shop
is a
says
point.
internet. Never again says a fucking flying car, no doubt. Atheist Donna says flying car. Ox says internet. Microraptor says fastest internet. Yandere says internet is my life. Jeff. Be right back, and I didn't notice.
I think
Sarah.
for the purpose,
There's 2 muted.
I think for the purpose of this question, we need to assume that the internet is instantaneous, not the fastest. It's instantaneous. I
No,
think
it
that
can't-
might
No, I don't think so. I think it's fastest.
No?
I think.
Okay. Okay.
Chad, have you heard
I
of
would
5G? Instantaneous.
Not in my head.
I would go with the cars, as everyone, as many of you know, I have car problems, so a car would be amazing.
Oh, we can do your thing. There. I've lost the
I
damn
need to
link.
update it or something at some point.
Fundraiser for Melissa. The car's buggered. She's really stuck. If you can spare anything, please help her. Right. So you're
Thank
going
you,
for the car.
Dave.
No problem. The chat is Microraptor says cars are boring, internet is fun. Ricardo says flying car. Godless Sewing says flying car provided that I'm the one flying. Jess says internet. David Melbourne says flying car. Watchtower Watcher says flying car, no question. Never Again says fuck the internet, I want a flying car. Theo
I've never
says-
been Sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
I was just saying, I've never been upset that I don't have a flying car. I get pissed off on like a daily basis about having a shitty internet. Like,
See, me too. But
I don't care. I don't
I
need
really
a flying
need a
car.
car.
I need like internet.
Okay.
Go on, Jeff.
Sorry.
I would travel everywhere.
car.
Flying car.
Yeah, I would travel.
It would get me away from the fucking internet for a while.
You're not allowed to just throw mail out the side. Well, they're saying that applies to a normal
Why
car,
not?
so-
Yeah, say. Just mail bomb place. Yeah, and just.
And do you know what? It would have been much better with a flying car 40 years ago. You can just drop stuff down the chimney.
Yeah. Would
Why
have
can't you
saved Santa Claus a lot of fucking issues.
I've just lost where I was in the chat. I'm really annoyed at myself. Junk Shop says, does everyone else have flying cars too? Because then the highway looks like Fifth Element. I think everyone else could have flying cars. I don't think it's an issue, because then if you've got the third dimension, we can take a lot more.
I don't think it would be an issue, like you say, because there's so much space in the air. You just drive over or under people.
Yeah. I mean, not that I trust other people to be flying anywhere near me, but that's another whole other thing.
Oh yeah, that's its own thing.
Is flying motorcycles allowed?
No.
Just as well then, because you just know flying car drivers will be completely fucking ignorant of them.
You have to deal with the people with jetpacks.
Flying
pedestrians and plug out.
flying BMW drivers are not allowed.
Don't you guys ever consider like the responsibilities of having a flying car? Like,
In what sense?
I don't know.
Did we ever consider? We'd only considered the question 20 seconds ago.
Oh. Like I can easily afford like a motorbike in Vietnam. I can afford it. I just don't want it because like I don't want to get like a drunk driving. I don't want to crash. I don't want the responsibility. The internet's like all upside down. I don't see anything bad about it.
What responsibility would come with having a flying car besides not crashing it into people?
Well, that's
I mean that's like a pretty big responsibility.
Yeah, but we could solve that one electronically now.
Well, you could park it on the roof though, so parking's never an issue.
I don't even want a flying car if it was free. I don't. I'll just stay home with my internet. I'm a hermit.
Fair enough.
But the chat agrees. People are nuts with the cars on the ground. Just think of the crap. If this is the problem, there is no way in hell we will ever have flying cars that humans can drive.
I don't believe that. We already have helicopters. I mean, that is pretty close.
No, but it'll be AI
It'll be AI. It'll be someone else driving. We can't. By a car, the differentiation between a car and the vehicles that we have in the sky now that people fly is the distance you have to be between them. The thing about a car is you're using a shared resource next to everyone else.
Oh, what are you on about? As long as you don't break the 2-second rule, we'll be fine.
You'd have to have like self-regulated like highways that go over and above and across from each other.
But the point is, AI driving, you'd literally have virtual roads.
I mean,
you would.
Because all joking aside, even now with like aviation or whatever, you've got to kind of fly certain routes as it is now.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you do. You have to set your elevation and talk to.
Well, you have to put in a flight.
We can't. They'll never let us have flight. They'll never let us have flying cars because we might discover that the Earth is flat.
On that note, we shall end it. And I'm going to clip that and make sure all the flat earthers get it.
Oh yeah, send them my way. I don't. Send those fucking assholes my way.
So the worst question was the vaccine one for sure. That's the one we don't know.
That was a good question.
No, that was a good one. Actually,
no, I'm saying the best question, but.
Yeah, and this was an interesting way to wake up.
That vaccine question triggered the audience.
It triggered everyone. Right, anyone got anything to shield before we run away?
Nope.
Chris?
Not really, no.
No, bye-bye.
Jeff?
Usual stuff, I suppose. I am going to say the stream I'm doing Sunday, or some planning Sunday with Hissy, is an asterisk one, but it's going to be a bit different. We're sort of throwing the invite out to people who've been get a few people who've been fans of the books or want
Why'd
to
you
come
do
in.
it first thing on a Sunday morning?
It's not for it's lunch Sunday lunch. It's first thing in the morning to the American guys. I understand that, Dave, but
No, it's
you know,
first
not,
thing in the morning to me. I'm not out of bed usually. I normally listen to it before I get out of bed.
No, Dave, I can't help it if you stay. I can't help it if you stay in your wank pit to fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon most days. It's not my fucking problem.
You should be considerate when scheduling your streams.
Nope, fuck you, Dave.
Right. On that note, I'm going to say thank you to Chad, to Chris, to Godless
Thank
Scummer,
you.
to Seraphim Hyde,
Bye.
and to Sam Chaos.
Cheers.
And thank you to everyone in the chat. We will see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Dave.